All right, how you doing?
Good, man.
You like
good.
it?
Thank you.
All right, that looks good. Looks good. Aiden, how we look? We're looking good. All right, cool. Everything. All right. All right, well, welcome, man.
Oh, thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the trip.
Not at all. Always happy to talk airsoft.
So, I'm going to ask you probably the most important question
Okay.
that we've asked. We've asked everyone this question off camera until this point, and I think we're going to start asking it on questions or on interview so we know what kind of person you are.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty big.
Deep, dark into the
Yeah,
soul.
it is. Are you Lord of the Rings guy or Star Wars guy?
Oh, dude, I'm going to upset you. I'm neither.
I knew that would be the fucking answer, too. I knew it. Okay.
I mean,
all
like,
right,
I get
all
it.
right.
Shire's burning, all that fun stuff that's gone into the thing. But, like,
Okay.
they're cool. I mean, like, they're all good movies.
All right.
I just never got into those in terms of, like, they became my whole life sort of things.
All right, how about Terminator?
Terminator's good. My wife's a wild Lord of the Ring nerd. And then
Okay.
Star Trek nerd.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right, well, thank you for answering that.
I try. Now, like, I've offended both communities.
I'll just pick one.
Fuck, dude, why didn't you just get on the fucking eagle in the beginning and drop it off?
Dude, I mean, that's a fair fucking question.
You look at Lord of the Rings tactically, it's really poor.
I know, but...
And then the older you are when you start watching Star Wars, like, the Empire really wasn't that bad. And you're like, shit. And then the other most bullshit thing is everything works in the Battle of Hoth. From someone who's fought outside in the cold, none of that stuff should be working. They all look relatively happy.
That's fair. That's
Like,
a fair assessment.
the AT-AT is not frozen, like one of the legs, like they're not like, there's not some crew chief out there banging on it with a wrench. All the snow speeders started. That's bullshit number one.
So you have a completely different perspective.
Yeah, the most realistic thing in that thing is when the Millennium Falcon doesn't start. You're like, yeah, it's cold.
All right,
Starter
cool.
fluid.
All right, this is going to be fun. All right, so, and I already know part of this because I'm pretty sure I saw you post something about it. Name and call sign, sir.
Okay, so nowadays, I'm old, guys. I just go by Derek.
I see. I
Back in the
know.
day, it was Tiger, and this is where it comes from. When I first started going to the NASG games in Toland in the late 90s, I did my first face paint, and apparently I looked like Tony the Tiger from the Kellogg's things.
That's
But
right.
I didn't get the reference. They'd be like, hey, Derek, can you just, like, say they're great? And I'm like, yeah, they're great. And they're like, no, like, a little more emphasis. I'm like, they're great? And I'm like, ah, fuck. And then that's where it came from. It's not because I was, like, super stealthy in the woods, because I'm not. It was because I looked like Tony the Tiger.
See,
when
I thought
did
it
my
had something to
face
do
paint.
with a tank, but...
No, it was
Like, you can
literally-
see where I make
It
that.
was literally, call signs are not supposed to be meant to be, like, cool. They're supposed to be meant to be,
Yeah.
like, funny or, like, endearing to your teammates.
Exactly.
And then I find the more you fight a call sign, the more it sticks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. Okay, that's cool. I like the backstory on that.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Tiger?
Originally from, call me whatever. I've
fine.
been called everything but a solution. So,
All right.
Originally from Vermont, now New Hampshire.
All right. How do you like New Hampshire?
It's so much better.
Yeah.
Now we just offended all the Vermont guys.
But that's okay. You're not offending.
So-
It's your preference.
So much better. I
It's your
mean,
preference. You're allowed to have
yeah,
preferences.
you don't want to run an airsoft field or try to start an aircraft field.
We're going to get to that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get to a little
Super
bit,
fun.
as much as you want
Let's
to talk
get
about.
into how much
but,
money I blew.
When did you start playing Airsoft?
So, when I was 13 or 14 in 1999, late 98, I think I technically started playing in 98, but I didn't go to a game. It started out with me and my buddy on opposite sides of a driveway in Snow Fork shooting at each other with AEGs. Like,
Yeah.
I bought a Tokyo Maru SG-1 with one standard, well, they weren't standards, they were just the max back then, with the manual speed loader, the one that was like you were back in the Revolutionary War.
Yep.
And he had an M16A2 and I had the SG-1. And then our sidearms were those Tokyo Maru minis that were like it ran on like 4 AA's and like whack, whack. That's where it started in 1998. And then I went to the first Toland game in 99. There was like 36 people and they were all over 30 except for the two of us.
So, that sounds right.
Airsoft cost a lot of money back then.
Damn, it still does.
I mean, no, nowhere near. Like,
Yeah, that's fair. How long did it take you to know in those snowbanks that where you were like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Probably since even before the snowbanks. I remember my friend called me. He lived in New York. He's like, we play paintball together. And he's like, hey, I saw this thing called Airsoft and the guns look real. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I saw it in a freaking catalog or something.
Okay.
It was like one of like Shotgun News or like something stupid like that because I went to Barnes and Noble to see what it was.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, these things look awesome. Then I wanted the gun out of Heat. I wanted Val Kilmer's gun.
And that is a.
That's where it started. Yeah. It was like, this is, the ammo's cheaper and the guns look real. You had me at that.
I was talking to a movie guy the other day, and I'm like, so you've seen Heat, right? No, I haven't seen Heat. I'm like, what do you mean you haven't seen Heat? That's like one of the best shootouts in any movie ever.
Yeah.
Like, as far as like street shootout.
Dude, it is.
Right?
I mean, like, well, also there's like multiple shootouts in Heat.
That's
like,
true, but the one.
Like, the street scene, yeah. I mean, like, because it's done by Chris Ryan and Mike Gold, who were SAS guys.
Oh, no,
Chris Ryan was the one who got away during Bravo 2-0. He's the one that walked all the way to Syria. Or Jordan. I think it's Syria.
Okay.
So, like, they went through and they brought those dudes up to such a high standard. And then Michael Mann wanted it filmed with the actual blanks and not put anything in post-production. He wanted the sound. And, like, the sound of that echoing off the buildings is...
So I don't know if you've heard this rumor or if it's the truth, but I forget what branch of service it was that actually like recognizes Val Kilmer's mag changes in that.
It's Quantico and it's still thanks. My sister went through OCS there and she watched it.
Really? So what exactly do they do?
When you go through, before they go through the range, they just show you the clip to pump you up, and you see Val Kilmer's quick reload and slapping the side. Like it's just an awesome clip. It's good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that they use it.
Break attention.
Yeah, okay.
In an otherwise stressful situation.
That's pretty cool though.
Dude, it's an
For
awesome
Val Kilmer,
movie.
that must have been cool.
Yeah, dude, it's an awesome movie. I mean, it's like, you look at what Airsoft started, the reason why a lot of us got into it is guns we saw in popular culture via video games. The Resident Evil series, that was huge for a lot of kids back in the day, and that was what Tokyo Marine was basing their lineup off, was what was in Resident Evil.
No, sure.
You know, what we saw in Saving Private Ryan, the Thompson, what we saw in movies like Heat, or the John Woo movies back in the day.
John Woo,
dude,
hard-boiled, baby.
Dude, how many different guns, or like Face Off, like how many different guns were in Face Off, or Die Hard, like all that stuff that we grew up on, like, I want the AUG because he had it in Die Hard. Like,
was that Chow Yun Fat? Was that?
Yeah, there's all that stuff. Yeah. Like, that's the 90s and 80s action movies were what I think got a lot of us airsofters of our era into it. Because, like, we can't afford these guns for reals.
Yeah.
And then, like, we can only play one game with them once. It's going to be like, everyone call our heads, and there's got to be a pact at the end. Yeah. But, like, now in Airsoft, we get to go out and do all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's fair. Okay. All right. Why have you stayed playing Airsoft? I think we just kind of covered that, but I'm more specific.
It's a horrible addictive disease. It's terminal.
It really is an addictive disease.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, like,
you have tanks.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and then, like, when you start, like, figuring out like, the amount of money you spent on the hobby, and, like, sometimes, like, oh, no, I sold stuff. You never got what you paid for it. So, like, you look back, and, like, God, I could have done a lot of things for this money. But at the same time, like, the amount of friends I got it, the experience I got out of it, the community, like, that's my big thing is the community that you get at Airsoft. Because Airsoft's one of those things, you get what you put in.
Yep.
So if you just want to go there and shoot BBs and not really be a part of it, cool, you'll get that out of it. But if you're willing to put in some emotional investment, some time, some training, you'll get a lot back from that community that is going to give you back the same investment that you put in spades.
Yep.
So that's the community.
That's fair. It is an amazing community, and I would say 99% of the people are just amazing.
And it's a much bigger community now.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, so many different versions of Airsoft. There's no right or wrong way to do it. As long as you're having fun, you're doing it safely. It's just they don't all overlap.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But, like, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, we talked a bit about the last week with Becky and Danny about the differences with Speed Soft and what some people call Wood Soft. And
dude, look at how big the gap is between Milsim.
Yeah.
And that's just a subsection of Airsoft.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got like Milsim West over here, and then you have your local just field saying we're doing a Milsim day. Like,
yeah.
And the space between those two is insane.
So, briefly, if you could describe the difference between just going to a walk-on game and then going to a game with some Milsim rules, or battle sim.
So really, you got like 3 different levels of. Say you're going to your walk-on game, and this is like you have your own equipment. Like, we'll take the whole rental factor out. You're going to go there, you're going to bring your charged battery, you're going to bring your BBs. You're going to go out there, and you're just going to have fun. You're not really worried about chain of commands. You're not really worried about radios. You're not really worried about that. You're just out there to sling a bunch of BBs out of a high cap mag and just have a bunch of fun and be out there for 30 minutes and then come back and have chicken tenders. Like, cool. Nothing wrong with that in any way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. Cool. Then you have, like, I'd say somewhere in between, like a Stag Ops one, where you're organizing the squads. It's maybe lasting like 9-10 hours. And you have a set of rules. So, like, you now have to read the task ops. You have to do that. But you can still do it within, like, a mild level of fitness. And you can still do it with only a mild level of understanding how the bigger picture works. And then you go to, like, the top end of the spectrum. Not top, just the complete other end of the spectrum, Milsim West, where that is battalion on battalion level airsoft. I'm like, if you can't ruck 10 miles, you're going to have a really poor time. I can't do Milsim West on foot. I'd fucking die. I do it in vehicles, okay? Like, that's how I contribute. My big thing is carrying other people's is carrying other people's packs.
And that's got a fucking place, man. Airsoft
logistics is like, and that's where it is. But a guy having loads of fun shooting high caps and eating chicken tenders, and the guy who's in the woods for 40 hours in Milsim West embracing the suck in the rain.
Yeah.
If they're having equal fun, who cares?
Exactly. There's a place for both of them.
There's a place for both. It's just they don't overlap.
That's
Whereas
right.
the general airsofting community can do that, lower end where everyone's just having fun with the high caps. They can do a bit of the Milsim West stuff, and if they're in the right physical shape, they can do it.
Yeah.
So, like, and that's just the Milsim community. Like, we're not even getting to, like, the speed soft, the the big LARPing side of it, which is its own other thing.
And how do you do you still play in the games, or
I play in every game.
Okay.
I don't do refs and vests.
Okay.
They annoy me, and so, like, when we do our staff, we call them tactical advisors. They're just embedded on the teams.
Okay.
And then you get a bunch of advantages because now you don't have a dude walking around a vest, and like every time you're shooting at somebody, is like, is that one of the refs?
Okay,
Dude, or am I getting shot at by a ref? So I'm like, I'm always being watched. People generally call there more hits more when think they're under more of a bigger microscope.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, how do you like the LARPing aspect in the game? Does that make you feel more immersed into it?
So the most immersive event I went to was a Sterling Airsoft event in 2018.
And where's that?
This is over in the UK, and we were fighting in Copill Downs, which is the original mount site. Like, this is like the mount site that was built for World War II.
Okay.
It's crazy. But the level of immersion, and this is like 2018, I've been in Airsoft for a long time at this point, was so high that I didn't really even understand. So I was calling in everything on the radios, and they're like, that's just pattern to life. I'm like, there's a car that just drove by, and there's a guy with binoculars like, yeah, that's just Taurus. I'm like, what do you mean it's just Taurus? Like, it was 3 parts. You had your NATO forces, your coalition forces setting up a cop in a city, and then you had a police force that was out there doing their own thing, and then you had the insurgents, and then you had civilians, and there was 30 different vehicles driving around the site. I watched a car accident. There was a staged car accident, and they arrested the guy for a DWI, and I'm like, calling in the radio, I'm like, I just want you to like sell commands. So I'm like, in America, this would be part of the scenario. this
would be real life.
This would be real life.
Cool.
Like, where the insurgents can call up a cab, and then, like, if they just don't want to fight anymore, they just throw their guns down the building, and once they don't have a gun, you can't engage them.
And that's real
Or
life
you
too.
being in, this was the other one that got me. I was in an OP on this 3rd story in the attic, and some insurgents came in and told me it was their house, and then kicked us out and called the police on us. And you're like, what? I don't know what to do here. Like, this is taking the whole point. This is way beyond like, hey, we have a 3rd faction that's, some tribe thing. And I'm not saying that's bad, but like,
no.
When you're in the urban stuff, you're like, this is crazy.
And then it sounds like the role players really.
Oh yeah, we had they call them dickers. They're guys who are just out there with with a radio or a cell phone, just calling in all our positions, but they don't have a gun, so we can't engage them. But that's the thing from British culture, because that was the Northern Ireland. They used to get the Irish to do them. So like, immersion is awesome. And it's a certain type of event. It's very different than, say, a Milsim West, where there's 2 infantry battalions fighting each other for control of terrain.
Yeah.
And they both have their place. But I like third parties when you have a cool area to do it, like urban center. It makes sense. There's going to be civilians there.
Yeah.
Generally, there's not a load of civilians running around the woods.
So when it's practical to the actual event,
totally. And then you get into the hardcore LARPing stuff that you see down at Ballhawk and with, post-apocalyptic games, which I'm sure are wildly fun.
Yeah.
They get into their alien games and their monster games and all that stuff. People love it.
Fucking airsoft.
It's airsoft. It allows you to do so much cool stuff through the mild application of force that isn't going to hurt somebody.
That's a great way to put it.
You know?
That's perfect. Okay. All right. So, tell me, what made you decide to start your own field?
So I've done this 3-4 times now. So I've had.
So let's go from the first one to the last
The first
one.
one is I went to a game with my friend and I'm like, that sucked. And
Okay.
I'm like, we can do it better, and that's where it came from.
Okay.
It always comes down to, I get to a point in the community and I'm like, I'm not having fun anymore.
You hit your ceiling.
And then I want to do, it's not ceiling, it's just like, I'm old and I want to do it my way. And
Okay.
it's that simple.
Yeah, okay,
It's like, I
that's
want to
fair.
play via the rules I want to play.
Yeah.
Or the other one, I don't want to drive that far anymore.
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah.
Because I excel one thing at airsoft fields and it's not making money.
That's
If you want to lose money dramatically, start an airsoft field.
Yeah.
Great way to do it.
that's the
Unless you're doing indoor stuff where you got volume or a mass community, but even then, it's a lot to keep the lights on.
Well, the sport's getting more popular, so maybe.
It is, but with rent and everything else and all this stuff
Inflation.
it is getting harder to keep for fields, especially the urban fields, to stay going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the wood stuff is dying off as zoning kills it off. All that,
Yeah.
that's where my third field battle was. Spending almost $100,000 trying to open up an airsoft field at my own house. But it just comes down to you just want to do it your way. It's not about the money. I don't need. I've got tanks.
Yeah.
Clearly, I don't need the money.
Yeah, I was
for the
gonna
airsoft
say-
field.
I've heard that when it comes to owning a field, you have to really have a passion for the sport because you're not going to make a lot.
Yeah,
of
and you
money.
got to try not to burn out.
Yeah.
So the big thing is, if you stay playing, I try to play every weekend that we do, even if it's just for a 20-minute section.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it becomes a job,
Yep.
and since it's just costing you money, it's a really shitty job.
Yep.
Granted, I excelled at those jobs coming from the airline pilot world and the aviation world, but it's just not if you're not having fun, what's the point of being there?
Yeah.
So it's just you're just trying to make what you want to do, your own little world. And the community's in a different place now than it was when I had my first field in 2009. So when I
That
opened
was your
up
first field.
GM SOG in Charlotte was my first field in 2009.
So you opened up GM
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I opened up GM SOG,
That's pretty fucking cool.
and then that was around for 4 years, and then the land was getting used for farming stuff, so we left there. And I had no intention of starting another airsoft field again. And then I got a call from Make-A-Wish, the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
No shit.
Yeah, and first off, I thought it was one of our friends, Doc.
That's good.
So Doc, he's from the old GMR days, used to love to prank call people with these wild, crazy stories. So I laughed and hung up on the Make-A-Wish person, thinking it was Doc. I'm like, good one, Doc.
Yeah.
Hung up,
Yeah.
and then it calls back with the caller ID as Make-A-Wish. I'm like, oh, he's up in his game. And it turns out there was this kid, Michael Bergstrom, from North Dakota, who had seen the videos we'd done, the GM SOG videos on YouTube that Dan, the man from Vermont, filmed, with all the helicopters and stuff. And his, Make-A-Wish dying wish is to play airsoft with us. And I'm like, shit, we just lost the field. And I'm like, can we go somewhere airsoft in Atlanta was indoor place,
Yeah.
whatever. And he's like, nah, he only wants to play with you guys in Vermont. So now I have 6 months to find a field, to open up another field. That led to McPhee. We found an old paintball field. It used to be a paintball field when I was a kid in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Stood it up in time to get him out to do Make-A-Wish. And that's what got the second field going, was because I had to do it for a Make-A-Wish kid.
So, do you know why he wanted to only play with you guys? So it
Dude,
wasn't
he
just
saw the
playing
videos.
airsoft? No
He's 14
shit.
years old. And he's like, these guys are running around in vehicles and hanging out of helicopters. And, I'm like,
But 14-year-old kid doesn't
dude,
want these things.
they're an idol thing. I am definitely not your role model or idol.
Yeah.
But, that is what he wanted to do, and he wanted to do with us, so we stood it up to do it. The community came together to help me build this. I couldn't do it by myself.
Fucking right.
Cool fun fact, he's still alive. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
So we've gotten him 4 other Make-A-Wishes. He's made out. I got him one through the Air Guard, and then I hooked him up down at Battalion Airsoft where he had another Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
Then the Florida Air National Guard gave him a Make-A-Wish, and then the Sheriff's Department took us on a high-speed simulated pursuits through the projects of Jacksonville at like 100 miles an hour for
Holy
another
shit.
Make-A-Wish. Yeah, it was awesome.
That
like-
sounds pretty fucking awesome.
Dude, he's cool. Michael Bergstrom, awesome pool. It's like I call his mom. Like,
Yeah.
his parents are now like my parents. They're freaking awesome.
And how old is he?
So Michael's probably 27 now. He had like a muscular wasting disease, but he's doing good. He's married. He's
No shit.
super cool kid.
All right.
So yeah, dude, that's what got the second field going. Was like, shit, we have to do this for Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, yeah, you had to.
Yeah,
You
dude,
had to
like what? He's like, no, I don't. We don't want another wish. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And here's the cool
Oh,
thing:
my God.
one of the players who helped set me up, who was just a player at the time, is now the director of the Vermont Make-A-Wish and upstate New York Make-A-Wish. Yeah, Quentin, who's on my team, does a lot of the vehicle stuff in the tanks with me. He now runs Make-A-Wish Vermont.
Did it stem from?
So
this
he
kid?
did a lot of coming from your Star Wars side. He was a big Kylo Ren, I don't know, role player, LARPer, whatever. Plus, he had the alien suit.
I'm a Lord of the Rings guy, so I don't
dude,
really. I know the name Kylo Ren. I couldn't make
freaking
it.
hobbits.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did that stuff, and then they did a lot of Make-A-Wish through the Star Wars stuff, the whatever Legions or whatever they were part of. And then he's like, dude, this is really cool. I'm gonna go on to become the director of Make-A-Wish.
How cool is that?
So yeah, dude, he came out, started out as a kid at my airsoft field when he was in his teens, and now he runs Make-A-Wish. And that's the thing with the communities. Like, I have all these people that are now uncles to my kids.
Yeah.
That started out as 12 and 14-year-olds on my airsoft field.
Yep.
And now, like, I'll come across them randomly. I have no idea who they are, because, like, I haven't necessarily changed besides getting balder and fatter in, like, 15, 20 years.
To us, dude.
But, like, they've gone from a 12-year-old kid to a man now, and you're like, oh, shit.
What's up, man?
Yeah, like, dude, I was, like, 2020, I'm, like, going through this store, and, like, I go to pay for a sandwich. He's like, no, it's on the house. And I'm like,
Who are you?
He's like, it's good, Tiger. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, cool, thanks, buddy. It's like being the Godfather. It happens randomly when I'm out with my wife, and she's like, what the fuck?
You guys are such nerds at mentioning things.
Dude, yeah.
I know mine does it.
You have a secret community.
Yeah, for real. It's real.
Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
It's totally real.
And it's awesome. It's awesome. The whole fucking community is just awesome.
But yeah, now they're all my kids are that age now, and that's what made me want to do the current field. Is like, I'm gonna have to drive them somewhere, and I don't like the rules, or I don't like, the quality of the experience, or not whatever. And so it's like, let's do it. What else am I gonna do with my time?
And that's all. I found that it is so rewarding. Exactly all the kind of things you're talking about, and obviously you've made an impact on these 14, 15-year-olds' lives. Enough that they give you a free sandwich or whatever. Just that's their way of saying, hey, dude, thank you for all that.
We used to give them like free lunches, water. Like, my gun broke, so like inevitably they're using one of my guns. So like, it's why I have to have like 42 rifles. Because I'm a nice dude, so I lend everything out. Like the amount of stuff I've lent out that hasn't come back over the years is probably more than most people's airsoft collections.
Dude, it happens.
But that's what you do. Like you look after them, they become like so. My wife and I call them our airsoft kids. They're our airsoft children. That's how I refer to it. We just, they're adopted. We know everything that goes on in their lives, their milestones. And a lot of these kids didn't have a great community outside of airsoft. Or, and even like, worst case, they didn't have good quality of life at home.
Yep.
They didn't have like someone like a role model or anybody. They didn't have friends. Like they came from some pretty, like some of the stories you have from the field, like some of these kids came from some pretty dark backgrounds.
Yep.
But for that day, that 9 hours, they were with their community taking on their persona. That's where the call signs come from.
Oh yeah.
So they want to be something that they're not necessarily. They are it, but
Not
they
want
to feel that. They want to be that whatever call sign they are, and they live that while they're on the field with their community. And everyone buys into it, and that's why they want to be there. So like that one thing that they do maybe once every 2 weeks means the world to them. That's what keeps them going between those weeks.
And you give them the space to do that.
Yeah, you give them the safe space to do that because, like, particularly when I was growing up in it, like airsoft wasn't. It's like backyard games were a big thing, and like there was multiple times like I was playing at a friend's house. Like, dude, we're probably gonna get shot by the cops.
Dude, I still think that now. I call the police department every season just to let them know that I'm dead. They probably know by now. But I think that every time we have a game, like, is this gonna be the time that someone calls the cops or whatever, and they come down my driveway and they see us all kitted
I
out?
remember when I was young and dumb, I was like playing in like public fields in New York behind a freaking like housing development.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, they're like, oh, man, there's a lot of cops there after we finish playing. Like, that's weird. Still probably.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's
Why
weird.
right?
Saw some kid with an M60 with an ammo belt hanging out of it, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you're just doing it in a safe space.
So, we'll find while we're doing this, a lot of questions that I'm going to ask have been answered already, but we'll get a little more specific. So, in owning a field, what have been a couple of your biggest victories and a couple of your biggest defeats in owning a field?
Biggest victory is once you build a community. And once you have a community that shows up and you have regulars and they're, I don't want to say bought in, but they become part of that family.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the biggest victory. It's not a money goal. I mean, cool. For some people it is. Totally is. Like, you know, because a lot of people set out to do this as business. Power to them.
Yeah.
That's not me. The losses, losing a community member, that sucks. We lost one of our community members to suicide. That fucking super sucked.
I don't even remember experiencing that.
You know, you're always wondering, like, what could we have done more for him?
Of course.
And then just like, you're doing, as an event runner and an owner of a field, you're doing all the shit behind the scenes that they don't see. So you are the true sin eater. So like, everything that goes wrong and everything bad, you take responsibility for and do, so they never have to see it.
Yep.
No one's paying to show up and have drama.
Yep.
No one wants to like have this drama of like, oh, you know, what's going on with the local town, or, you know, these people. Like, they just want to show up and have fun. So your job as the field owner is and then running the events, you're the sin eater. You take all this shit in so the community doesn't see it.
Yep.
And has a great time. That's it.
100%. Where are you? You hear me? Fucking 100%. So
I'm so focused on the camera.
that's fair. That's fair.
listening.
The last interview, every like fucking other word, not every other word, but I can. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
That was the first one though.
Watching the edit of it, I'm like, you sound like a fucking.
That was
dude.
the first one.
I
I'm
sound like
proud
a
of
douche
you.
no matter what, so.
Dude,
Works out.
Yeah, you're actually doing great.
You look great on the camera.
I'm as
too.
articulated
Right?
as
And this angle is absolutely
Right.
I'm as articulated as a
phenomenal.
drunken circus monkey, so, you know,
As-
with the attention span of 1, 2, so
as
it's like,
most
you ask
other
one
airsofters.
question and like it's off in 5 different
Yeah.
directions.
And I have found that's what everybody is. Like we're talking to Gordon.
Yeah, because
same
we
way.
all have ADD
and autism and everything
dude,
else.
So on a serious note, I have a friend who's a doctor, and she's a psychologist / whatever. I was talking to her, I'm like, you should study the airsoft community, because we attract people with like Asperger's, autism, all the things at a far higher proportion than any other community, even a higher level than Comic-Con.
No, I found in our team alone a lot of people looking to get sober too. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've experienced that.
Oh, dude, guys
lot
with
of people-
addiction. Boy,
Huge.
one of my favorite Asperger's, I won't say the call sign. You'll call someone on the radio, and I'll be like, they'll be like, calling their first name, calling their first name, calling their first name, and you'll be like, and then you call their call sign, they immediately call back. You're like, what the fuck? I'm like, come on. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, we're only going to respond when I use your
Yeah.
persona?
Well,
I know the radio works.
yeah. For some people, that's their thing, right? You know.
Dude, they just like, yeah, but that's what gives them, I think that's what makes Airsoft great, is they show up, they now have the mental power to interact with the community, be wildly outgoing, do all the stuff that they don't have the psychological like ability to do in the normal like everyday world.
But they learn how to do it in these games and these events
They
and in
learn
this
how
community.
they learn how to do it, and the community doesn't judge them.
And I've seen numerous times, especially with my own kid, him go from that very shelled off person with his own shit, then he got very comfortable with airsoft, and now that is translated to the normal world,
Oh, I mean,
and that's amazing.
we're also forcing these kids to interact with adults,
Yeah, right.
and then you're also forcing them to play a sport that's entirely based on honor code.
Yeah,
I mean, and then let's be honest, the community really does police itself. So if you get a bad reputation, you ain't coming back. And so we're making these kids take a level of responsibility that most kids, unless they're in real organized sports like, you know, high school level competitive sports, they're not doing.
yeah.
And I think that, you know, that's the big influence on them.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So, what advice could you give anyone that's looking to open up their own field?
Don't.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Okay,
But
so
if
if you
they
wanted to, there's two different. Okay, for two different types of people. If you want to do it for yourself and just have fun, and then if you want to do it as a business. If you want to do it as a business, start with like 500 grand, and then like you'll get down to like 100 grand, and then maybe work your way back up.
Maybe.
If you want to do it as just for fun, always remember it's a liability of what's going to hurt you. So you got to have the insurance. You got to figure out because homeowners insurance ain't going to cover this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's insurance. Get that burden done, and then it's just how do you want to build your community after that. But it's the devil's in the details of the paperwork. Am I zoned for this? Can I have this at the house? Will the state allow this? Get a tax ID. All the stuff that you need to start any other business. So like the first person you're going to get is a lawyer because they're going to do all the stuff for you. And then be like, a lot of times like, you run stuff by you and my lawyer will be like, oh, it's good. And the other times like, Derek, do you want to keep having a house? And like that sort of stuff. Like I had this crazy idea. They're like, no. Legally, no.
Yeah.
Like the liability on that is not going to happen. But that's it. It's doing the devil in the details, getting it, making sure so you don't deal with these problems later. I dealt with some of these problems later, not because I didn't do that, but because I had neighbors that did not want their backyards and had way more money than me.
Yeah.
So
Which is usually a factor.
Oh yeah, the legal
Money
system
talks.
is not set up for who's right or wrong. It's for who can take it out the longest in a case.
Yeah, 100% right.
I spent $100 grand
You're right.
trying to have an airsoft field in my backyard and to have an off-roading event that had already been at that house for 5 years before I bought it. Well, because I showed up and I drive old military vehicles and I shoot once in a while, I'm going bald, so I'm a shaved-headed dude who looks like a fucking skinhead. They did not want me there in high-end horse country. So, what you remember, looking back on it, dude, never should have tried to do the airsoft field there. I should have gone and bought land somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you don't know because you think you're right. You can be legally right and still lose.
They have money. They have a
That's
lot
what
of
it
money
came
back
down
up.
to. Like when we were getting ready to go to the environmental court, I knew I was going to win in the environmental court because we were legally right, but they were going to appeal it, and the burden of proof for an appeal is so much lower than what it is. That ties me up because it's an airsoft case.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 6 or 7 years before it sees a Vermont Supreme Court. And every time I go in front of the court, it's another 50 grand. So I've already spent 100 grand at this point over 3 years.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm really good friends with my lawyer now. My most expensive friend I've ever had. And he did a really good job. The fact that we're still friends, but that's the stuff that you got to deal with. Like I said, you're the sin eater. You're doing all this stuff so the community can just go and have a place to play and pay $25. If you just want to do it in your backyard, cool beans. Just don't take any money. Just have fun. Still have a waiver.
That's exactly
That sort
what
of
we
stuff. But as soon as you cross that donation line or you cross the payment line, you are now a business, and you got to go through all the hoops at any other business, whether you're freaking Joe Smo starting your airsoft field or you're freaking Walmart.
did. Yeah.
You're all at the same standard.
Yeah. I didn't know you consider a business if you take donations, huh?
Yeah, they can use that stuff.
We don't. But
So donations can be used against you. Like technically it's a pretty big gray area, but same thing, like if you do it with an organized club, I worked that around. With dues, that can also, it's such a gray area and people can tie you up with it. As soon as any money exchanges hands, because that's how we looked at keeping Airsoft Vermont going. Besides it just being, and then also if you publicly advertise it, that was the big thing. If you're advertising it so if you have your own forum that's just you and your friends, that's fine. But if you put it in, say, Airsofters in New Hampshire on Facebook, well, now you're advertising it.
you mean like advertising, hey, come play here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we're word of mouth and we're invites
You
only.
cross the line there, and that's the things. All this fun that I paid a lot of money to learn the knowledge of.
This is stuff that sometimes crosses my mind about like having a field at my house, but it's strictly for us to be by some friends.
Yeah, it's just, and that's and at the end of the board, what do you want out of it?
Yeah, this is it, yeah.
What do you want out of it? If you just want to go out there and have fun or train with a team, awesome. Don't make a field. If you want to do like, hey, I want something that can do every other weekend, and I want to use these vehicles, then yeah, you need to have a field for liability purposes on its own. Have an LLC so you have a corporate umbrella and all, the corporate veil between you and your assets and all the other stuff. So, I mean, it's just different levels. There's no right or wrong way to do it as long as you're doing it safely and you're doing it within whatever the law will allow you, be it zoning or whatever.
when we started this stuff out, we really didn't have an idea of what we were doing. Like, we're just like, we
Welcome
wanna
to
play
my
Airsoft,
world.
right? And this past year, we ended up, most of our games were 30 plus people. When the bros came up, there were
Like, where
40.
the fuck do I have everyone park?
That's exactly right. But so the thing was, and because I had to start thinking about, well, what do we want here? What is this? And I kind of come to the conclusion that with having other people come play here and enjoy it as much as we do, is that there at times is a lot of negative in our airsoft community. People have a tough time at some of the local fields because of whatever reasons, you know.
Oh, there's so much drama.
Right, it's the drama. So when they come here, like, that is a rule of our team. We don't cause it, and when people have come here, they leave going, dude, that was awesome. So I'm kind of thinking it's just like, it's never going to be a public field. It's never going to be over 40 people ever. And it's just kind of a little oasis from that garbage.
You're having fun, and also it's like, I can just go out my back door and do it, and then we can grill afterwards.
And that's exactly what
we
we
can
do.
camp here and hang out. Like, that's the thing, is like, I'm doing the battle sim stuff. I'm never going to be Mil Sim West.
Yeah.
We're not going to do 40 hours, because I live there.
Yeah.
People live around
Get
me.
the hell out of here. Dude, I had fun. I'm tired.
I love blank fire. It's super cool. I love doing it Mil Sim West. It's not a liability Rubicon I'm willing to cross for my own stuff.
Yeah.
Like, not saying it's wrong. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just
not for you.
because I live there, doesn't make sense. And also doesn't make sense with my neighbors. Like, we do, like, I don't do any pyro after it gets dark.
Yep.
Because people live around you. And you've got to have, it's what do
respect
you
for your
want?
neighbors.
It's respect, because we all want to be positive in this community.
Yep.
What can we do? You know, that's why I encourage teams, get involved with local charities.
Yep.
Do stuff. Do fundraisers. Get us in a positive light. So it's not just like, hey, they view you as the militia out in the woods.
I hate that.
Because they see you, like, they
Yeah.
don't know these are BB guns.
Yeah.
You know, like...
And that's a
Vermont-
very true statement. A lot of people...
Vermont passed a militia training law. I don't even think it'd be legal to have an airsoft field anymore.
And it's unfortunate because it's not like... It's not a militia. People from every political background...
But you could constitute it as militia training. I mean, we use tactics.
You're not wrong.
And that's
You're
the
not
thing,
wrong.
so it's like...
Yeah. They're not wrong, but they are at the same time. Like, I can absolutely see the argument. 100.
And that's
Absolutely.
the thing, it's like, so if we can make the community look better, awesome. And that's why if the field owners are responsible and they do it legally, and then, or you just playing backyard games and you're all in the agreement, so you're not worried about someone getting sued, then awesome.
Yeah.
Have fun. As long as you're doing it safely, cool beans.
Yep. That's what I love about doing these. We have questions that we start to lead us into this cooler stuff,
I mean,
you know?
And like, someone has questions, call me. I'm happy to help. I'm no lawyer, but I'm like really good
You hear
jail.
this? Give me
I'm a
call, give me
jailhouse
text.
lawyer and a lot of this stuff. No, I've had loads of people message me about starting, you know, they're like, oh, I want to start like a surplus store. I'm like, cool. This is the connections I have and what I've done. Or I want to start an airsoft field. Or I want to charge money at my house. I'm like, dude, think about these things. You know, because like airsoft insurance, I'll tell you now, is not freaking cheap.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It is like quadruple to maybe like 6 times what it used to be when I started in 2009.
Yeah.
Because there's only one underwriter now.
Yeah.
Like,
There's money to be made.
that's it. Well, I mean, it's more so like just no one wants risk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's old insurance company, no one wants risk. And
Yeah.
like, when you look at it, this is,
very risky.
it's not a like,
On
as
paper it
risky on
is.
paper, but on paper, like,
Yeah.
you guys are shooting BBs at each other's faces, like, I mean,
yeah, we did do that.
and you're like doing out in the woods, like the trip fall hazard.
Yeah,
along.
oh, yeah,
yeah,
no.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, what does it fit within your budget, what you want to do, and if you want to do it as a full business, do it right, put all your passion into it. I go to some amazing fields, and even styles of airsoft that I don't necessarily like. Like I go to a speed soft field in Jacksonville, Florida, Battalion Airsoft, every year, multiple times a year, because I love those guys, and they have passion they put into it, and they have the best setup for an arena in terms of like how they have their store, their admin area, having a food place right in the building. You can get hot food, pizza, burgers, get a milkshake. Like, they have a couch, like as an old man, I can play like really hard for 3 hours and go take a nap.
That sounds great.
Dude,
That sounds like a
We'll
setup.
go. We'll have fun.
Okay.
Italian Airsoft, epic dudes.
Okay, alright.
Get out of your comfort zone, go do that, but you gotta put the effort into it because that business is representing you.
Yeah.
And if you want it to succeed, you gotta put everything into it. You know, and then you gotta get your community to buy into it because you're only one dude.
Yeah.
You know, like for me with starting up Green Ops, I've got the vehicles. I don't know shit about building roads and trenches or freaking all this other stuff. I'm one dude. I just be driving a single vehicle without the community support helping me do all this stuff or embracing the rule set or buying into it. It's not going to work. So if you bring the passion, the community will bring it back to you.
Yep.
And if you just go in there just trying to make money, you're not really showing it. And you're not. And the biggest thing I tell field owners: get out and play, experience your game, so you see what they're seeing. That's how you can change it. It's like, oh shit, I didn't realize like this spawn is so camped in. That's why people are getting come off the field pissed.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I brought all my kit and the tables aren't good enough. You know, like dude, it's the little things. Like when you look at it as a player, get into the business instead of just looking at the big picture stuff. Because we have business, we have to do the big picture, we have to do the books, we have to do all that. But we take our focus off the little simple thing: is what is the player experience?
Yeah, and that's the most
it.
important part.
And you find there's a lot of fields that come and go. You see it in our community.
Yeah.
But the ones that stay are the guys who put the effort in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, or get as they age out, they get the community to come in and be their general manager for the field and all that stuff. And that kid started out as a player. You know, Battalion Airsoft was bought by a player.
That's what,
You know,
Yeah.
it's really cool to see that stuff.
and I think that leads really well into the next question is, what does Green Ops bring to the table that other New England fields don't at the moment?
We're just different. We're just feeling there's a niche in the community. And the community is in a much bigger place than it was when I ran GM Saugermac feed. So now you can have a dedicated battle sim game, which is just my version of Milsim. Because, again, the Milsim spectrum is very broad.
It's a great term, by the way. I like that. I hope that you get to coin that.
And I didn't coin it. It comes from the UK.
Okay.
Battle sim probably predates Milsim.
Okay.
I don't remember when Milsim started becoming a term in Airsoft, but it wasn't in the beginning. It was just Airsoft.
All right.
It was just like we used to call it more hardcore Airsoft was when we do limited ammo and that sort of stuff. But our thing is just applying the rule sets from all these different event runners. You know, a lot coming from the Milsim West TASCOM, a lot coming from what I saw with UCAP's Battle Sims, some stuff coming from Stag Ops, some stuff coming from TCA, a lot of stuff with the vehicles because we do coming from the guys who do vehicles better than anybody, Deviate Airsoft down in Florida. I mean, those dudes are running more armor than I am every weekend. And they do it better than anybody, and they do it safer than anybody. So you're taking all this stuff, and this is what I want out of Airsoft. I want to apply, this is the stuff over my, 26 years in Airsoft, 27 years in Airsoft, that I want to play.
Yeah.
How do we do Milsim West limited ammo rule without having to do all the ammo? Because everyone wants these different weights now.
Yeah. That's
The days of 2s and 2.5s are long.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
I
the
miss
builds
those days.
to back up the weight.
But it's like, okay, cool. How do we make it more realistic? Well, you can just carry what's in your magazines. That's it. We're going to go like real steel. So if you want to carry 24 M4 mag, cool beans. But now you have a weight and a freaking space penalty.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Take the speed loaders out of it and have some fun. Do
Yeah.
that. But now you can still carry the ammo that you choose to carry. Using Deviate's vehicle rules versus Stag Ops vehicle rules. So I like Deviate's more. Using Milsim, a mix of Milsim West's medic rule with the original NEHG Bose Wounded rule. You're just taking what I think is my dream set of rules and applying it.
Yeah.
And then the community has to find it. Because New England, you can go play Airsoft on any Saturday or Sunday and find somewhere to play in New England.
Yep.
It's totally changed from when I started where there was Toland, and it was maybe once a month. That was it.
Yeah.
Now, and you can go choose whatever choice Airsoft you want to play, whether you want to play indoors or you want to play outdoors, or, say Harris versus RPC versus Field of Farm versus UVG, and they're all slightly different, but you can make those choices. So it's just, no one was doing Milsim in between ops.
Yeah.
You go to an op, well, like, how do you get into that? So, well, maybe I want to come up and do a walk-on at Green Ops and play with their rule set, but it's still only a half an hour, 45-minute game, and then we go back.
Yeah.
It's not, I got to prepare for a full Stag Ops for the weekend.
Yeah.
So then try that rule set. That's it. It's just a mix of everything.
All right.
And then our specialties, we have the vehicles.
Which leads me into my next question, Derek. What kind of vehicles do you have at Green Ops at your disposal?
So I guess we'll start smallest to biggest. So a 1952 M38 Jeep, Land Rover lightweight, a little four-seater, which is actually the vehicle I used to start GM Saug with. That's my son's Land Rover now. The Jeep is my other son's. So they both have their own classic vehicles to go on forward with. And then there's 3 different Land Rover 110s. One is I forget how many vehicles I have. There's 2 Special Forces Defender 110s like the SAS used in Gulf War One.
Okay.
They're called DPVs. There is an armored Land Rover, the Snatch, which was used in Northern Ireland and Iraq. Cool was in Iraq when I was in Iraq. Let's see. There is regular 110 Defender Troop Carrier. Then we get to the track stuff. So we have a CVRT Sultan, which used to be a command vehicle. That's like a 17,000 pound tracked vehicle that will do like 65 miles an hour if you wanted to.
Is that the one you just got?
That's the one I just got. And then there's a CVRT Scorpion, which I've owned, that's in the UK, that I was over there using it for Op 4 stuff. That's coming over, so that's like a baby tank. It's got a 76 millimeter cannon on it, and we're gonna shoot tag-ins down the barrel and have
That's awesome.
Have a HPA coax and probably a blank firing coax as well.
Dude,
so yeah, and I know I'm probably just like, oh, it's Land Rover ambulance we use for stuff too. There's a bunch of stuff.
That's awesome.
But that's what I like mechanized and mobile airsoft because my knees are shot, my back is shot, I've got asthma. Like I suck at all the things that you necessarily need to like be a good airsoft player. But I'm a really good airsoft player in a tank.
Yeah, but that's natural. I mean, as we get older, these are the things that these younger guys are going to realize when they get to 35 to 45. Your body just starts feeling different.
It combined a bunch of my hobbies. I love old military vehicles, aircraft, like I come from aviation. So warbirds are expensive. I'm not going to be able to afford a P-51 Mustang. But I can go out and afford an old military Land Rover.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. And then, as I got into like I could sell a couple Land Rovers and buy a tank. I'm lucky my wife bought me these tanks. She's awesome.
That's awesome. What's her name?
Okay, Catherine.
First name.
Okay, Catherine.
Say something to her.
Here's the thing. This is how I knew. This is how I know. This is how I knew I was going to marry her. Okay, so for my birthday, we've been dating for probably 6 months. She bought me a Tokyo Maru Mark 23 back in 2004. Okay, I knew that. I was like, dude, I got to marry her before some British. She's from Scotland. Before some British airsofter gets her. Then
smart man.
13, 14 years later, she bought me a real Mark 23 with extra magazines for Christmas. And that's when I knew right. But she bought the first tank. Like, the first Sabre that we took to Stag Ops back in, 2018, she bought. So I'm very lucky. She also shares a passion for collecting old military vehicles. She has a bunch of old classic Defenders and stuff, too.
How cool.
That's awesome. So cool. She won't play airsoft, but she loves all the military vehicles that go with it.
I'm sure she enjoys what you're doing now.
She likes the community. I mean, some of her best friends now are kids that grew up here. Dominic comes to my house and gardens with her.
Oh.
Yeah. He came out as I remember him showing up, and Dominic only has one good eye. He was our one-eyed sniper at nice. 14 with a spring L96. And now he's a man doing all this, doing everything. He's just an amazing dude, professional level gardener, but also does all this other stuff. He comes down and goes gardening with my wife after we're done playing airsoft or working on the tanks.
That's awesome.
He's one of our best friends. We're Thomas, and we go to his restaurant all the time. Okay, one thing for airsoft teams: get someone who can cook. For the love of God, find someone with cooking skills on your airsoft team. It makes MilSim so much more enjoyable when you're at MilSim West and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you have warm homemade chili.
Oh, that does sound nice.
And also, real MilSim is when you're cooking chili wearing night vision goggles.
All right.
Right?
All right. Who can cook?
Dude, find someone who can cook.
I think we have to have somebody.
Thomas, we're a British themed airsoft team. Thomas made us high tea at one of the Stag Ops with the little sandwiches with the crust all cut off. And we had tea and we had crumpets and stuff. It was freaking awesome.
That's
in the middle of a game.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. But you find your thing.
Fucking airsoft.
But yeah, the community's awesome. So I'm very lucky that my wife loves, the community there. So she doesn't necessarily enjoy playing the sport.
Man.
But she loves hanging out with them, cooking for them.
Yep.
And just looking after them.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, mine was very similar.
So,
in all aspects of that. That's
yeah, dude, very lucky.
I gotta get her to buy me a fucking tank though.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For science, did you ever get it up to 65 miles an hour?
Okay, so the fastest I got the first Sabre was somewhere above 60. I'm not sure I was at 65. I don't have. So when I'm driving the tank, it makes a bunch of weird noises. So when I'm driving the tank, my whole upper body is out of the vehicle, and the speedometer in typical British fashion is over here, by your left thigh. You're not looking at it. So you're going by sound and feel. So we're driving from my old house to this July 4th Memorial Day parade, and we were flying down Route 7, doing like we're speeding. We're definitely speeding by at least 10 miles per hour.
Nice.
And like I'm driving, there's 2 guys in the Turks. You can't drive this thing without having a full crew. We're
Yeah.
all in the intercoms, like wearing helmets and stuff. And they're like, we got a steady coming up on us fast. Yes!
I
I'm
just
like,
saw a fucking
dude, I'm
tank.
like, we're gonna get pulled over. I'm gonna get this dash cam footage. Yes. He blew by us like 90, like we were just like a freaking Honda Civic. I'm like staring at it, didn't even look at me. I'm like, what a freaking letdown.
Why didn't he pull you? Dude, I would, if I was
I don't
that state,
know.
I would have pulled you over just to hear what the fuck you were doing in the tank.
Yeah, but like back to like, it's legal, it's plated in Vermont. Like,
It's a tank, Derek, on
I
the
know,
highway.
but like it's the size of like a car, but like
Yeah,
I mean
dude.
maybe like a big SUV.
Who cares?
But,
It's,
like, yeah.
it's a cop's responsibility to ask you about that tank, not what you do. Like,
So,
tell me about your tank, sir.
did
I'm
get
interested.
The second tank, which was an APC to be, was the CVRT Spartan we had. We took it to get a creamy, and then I saw a state trooper park like on the other side of the road and watch it for 10 minutes, and then another state trooper showed up. And then they by this time, all right, I'm going to go and get all my paperwork, get insurance.
Yeah.
And then they blocked the tank in with their 2 cars, which was hilarious.
You can run him over.
Yeah, like, I mean, my tank's not big enough to crush them. We just pushed them out of the way, like they're right there. So I'm like, they get out of the car. I'm like, hey, do you guys want to see my license, insurance, and registration? Like, anyone who has this is willing to show it to us knows they can. Like, we got the report that you were driving a tank, and like, we just want to come out there. Like, obviously, you're legal. Can we just take some pictures? Yeah. And that's what they did, and then they drove away. And like, we're obviously not up to anything bad. There's like 12 kids hanging out on top of it eating creamies. Like, you know.
Oh, dude, like Peter Pan and the
Oh yeah, I
Lost
used to take it to trunk or treat all the time.
Yeah.
And like, one of the coolest tank experience I had was driving back on a foggy Halloween night in a tank by myself.
Happy Halloween,
in the dark with like a jet, like, you know, freaking pumpkin glowing on the front of it, and all these Halloweens. Like, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, my kids don't understand. This is not a normal life. Like, they don't like. My son, when he was in like 2nd grade, asked another kid, he's like, "What type of tank does your dad have?" Like, I don't think you get this. Is not
fucking
this is not a normal thing. Well, yeah, I get them involved.
What kind of tank does your dad have?
I mean, the kids help. Like, they got really little hands, so they're useful. Like, get into like places that I can't get into.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I got video of them at like 5 and
Oh,
3.5 servicing the, you know, old Alvis Saracen. I had this big 6-wheeled monster I took to Stag Ops once.
Dude.
That was a story. I bought it, had it delivered to UBG on the Cape. Never driven it before, and I got a 15-minute driving lesson how to drive it from a guy who drove them back in Northern Ireland.
Nice.
And then took it to the op.
It's alright.
We'll be fine.
It's fine, we're good.
He uses a weird transmission that doesn't actually have a clutch. It has a gear selector pedal, so like I can drive that and the old double-decker Routemaster buses because it can do all 5 gears in forward and reverse because you need to. And it has 4-wheel steering, so it's 6-wheel drive, 4-wheel steering.
Fucking England.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's why I went to the tanks. That one drove me to the brink, and then I was like, what is actually reliable and we can work on? And that's what got us to the CVRT series.
Quickly, describe for me what planning the best op you can at Green Ops is. Like, the behind the scenes a little bit. What do you do to make sure it's going to be a fantastic op?
So 10,000 foot view in. So first thing is plan out is like, what do I want the takeaways of this op to be? Like, you're thinking about, what do I want the player to experience? What do I want them to do, like, feel emotionally? And then how can I do that with the limited assets that I have? And like, you know, whether it's vehicles, whether it's props, whatever, any event run. And then you work down from that and try to come up with the best thing. My thing for what I try to do is I try to keep it realistic in that it's company fighting company. Like, or a platoon on platoon action is basic infantry. Yeah. If you want to go do the elaborate, you know, let's go find the nuke scenario, cool. Yeah, it's an awesome game mode. Yeah. Not what I'm after. Yeah. I'm just after, dude, you guys can't function as a basic infantry squad. We're probably not sending you after a nuke. So let's...
It's very fair.
You know,
it's a very fair assessment.
How do we keep them engaged? So, and how do you also give them the time to, like, decompress too? Because, like, none of us can do a 12-hour knockdown fucking gunfight.
Nah.
Like, just not. It's not realistic.
I'm lucky if I get an hour.
Yeah, but it's like, how do I keep the tension on without them having to shoot each other? Patrolling. Give them a frago that may not necessarily involve them in contact, but gives them the tension that they could have contact.
Okay.
I love patrolling for that. Like, when I get most into airsoft, it's not necessarily the gunfight, it's the maneuvering to contact.
Yeah.
It's the, hey, let's set up an ambush along this route and see what happens.
That's
Like,
an excellent point.
that sort of stuff. We're exercising the team's skills. So, like, for First Lancers, the British team that I run, like, dude, we haven't done stuff on foot in a long time. Well, man, we're good with vehicles because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We train and do that stuff. So, being able to use the vehicles in that environment, that's what I'm after with it. And then at the end of the day is you got to make sure they have fun, but there was also a challenge for them.
Okay.
It's not challenging. Like,
Yeah, what's the point?
what's the point?
Yeah.
And then if they're not having fun, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
But I find, at least with the Milsim community and what we're doing with the Battlesim community, they tolerate weather changes way better than the other communities. If it starts raining at the other airsoft, they stop having fun real freaking quick. I will tell you now.
Yeah.
It's amazing how quickly, like, some heavy rain will disturb. Whereas you do that at, like, Milsim West, they just embrace the suck and they laugh harder because
Yeah.
it makes a better story
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah, it really does. This past year's Clawhammer event
Oh yeah.
was rained out, and it was a blast. It was sucky, but you're with your buddies, and it was fun.
Dude, I ran a Vietnam one at GM-SOG. I've been drier swimming. It rained that
Right?
hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so, but everyone was having such a good time in it. Well, like, granted, we all had, like, hypothermia after, but, like, it was an awesome
Yeah.
experience.
More
But
than
as an
30
event
seconds.
runner in the moment, like, this sucks.
It makes a great story later.
I'm like, this is a great story later.
Yeah.
Great. I remember that one
Yeah.
out of the countless other ops I ran because it sucked.
Yeah.
But we had a good time doing it. Whereas if it had just been a regular walk-on game, everyone would have bailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's a great point. Okay. Have you played Airsoft in other countries? Which you've already answered, but I
have.
wanted to get into this because I think it's so important for people around
So
here to hear
I've played
about it.
Airsoft in the UK,
Yeah.
and you guys can totally go and play Airsoft in the UK for less than you'd spend to go to a TCA or an AMS game across the country. Does not cost a lot to fly over to the UK. It's like $500 round trip. So again, if you were flying out to Arizona or California for a game, pretty similar
Yeah.
cost-wise. The events over there are cheaper by far than what we pay here. I mean, we pay a lot to pay at an Airsoft event here, you know?
Yeah.
The average big event is $100 on the low side, high side $200, $300 on the over the Milsim West Grand. It's 40 hours, I get it. I'm not knocking anyone's prices, but that's a lot of money. Plus all the kit and everything else. Or even if you're driving to these events, you know, driving to the Guardian Center from here is like 20-something hours. You're
Yeah.
getting hotels, you're getting gas,
Yeah,
you're
it's
getting
expensive.
food along the way. You know, to do an event like that, you're spending $1,500, right? Like
Yeah.
generally about, you can fly to the UK for $500 round trip, get a hotel for not a lot of money, eating out there is not expensive, but pay $25 to play Airsoft in the D-Day command bunker for, the Royal Navy command bunker for Neptune, part of D-Day. Like, every ship movement was done in that bunker complex, and you're playing Airsoft in a room where Winston Churchill and the King stood. It's wild.
Incredible.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
There's graffiti on the wall from 1944. You're playing in an underground bunker complex with so many tunnels that you can flank, and it's perpetually flunky. It's hands down the coolest place I've ever played, and I never expect to play in before. But you can also go over there and play at some of the sites that, Gloucester Prison, Valley, I think that's Vendetta, UCAT Vendetta. It's a freaking prison built on top of a medieval castle. Victorian era prison. It's straight out of Alcatraz, you know, sort of thing. There's like 3 stories of airsoft with all the cells. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, they do that on a regular. That's just their regular.
That's their field.
That's their
That's
field.
their field.
That's their weekend airsoft.
Yeah.
They host Wednesday night at the bunker. Like, we don't have that stuff
No,
here.
we don't have that kind of history.
We don't have that history,
it-
nor
it-
surpluses of it.
No.
And then,
I watch some of the games in like
yeah,
Germany or and they have those, and it's just like, wow, look what you guys get to play. That's incredible.
yeah, and
That's
then
incredible.
different community. So FPS is wildly lower. It's like 330 feet per second.
Or in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming from here, I'm way more bold over there because it doesn't hurt. Like, it's awesome. When people laugh about, like, complain about overshooting, which is rare over there, I laugh so hard. Because you're like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys have me playing, like, HPA at, like, 1.85 joules. Like,
Right,
this
with
is
40s.
insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's their community over there is, it's really positive. It's very localized. They don't travel very far to events.
Okay.
New England, I think we are willing to drive farther because generally most of our population can't get there from here.
Yeah.
Over there, it's like they'll drive like 30 minutes to like an hour max, or they'll go to another field, even if it's lesser quality. They just don't travel like we do. A lot less hit calling issues. I noticed that. I think it's maybe because they're a little politer.
It's a part of the culture.
I mean, yeah, like it's weird to see an argument over there, or the most polite arguments you see. More when we were doing the milsim side of it, more emphasis on the kit because they don't need to spend money on upgrades.
Yeah.
And then the other wild thing is when you walk into a store, it's all Tokyo Maru.
Okay.
Which growing up with Tokyo Maru being the big company now, like you don't see Tokyo Maru here anymore. I have a Tokyo Maru NGRS because I love the recoil of it, but you don't see that here normally. You go over there and 80% of the wall is Tokyo Maru, the rest is combat G&Gs.
Okay.
So cool to see that stuff, and then they do this magic with their hop-up systems. So they're only at like 1 joule, but they're shooting nearly just as far as we are.
No kidding.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy because it goes as far, it just goes a lot slower getting there.
Hey, if it gets there.
But it gets there.
Yeah.
Like, and then also, you're fighting in an urban most of the time. You don't need
that's a great
250 feet when we're shooting in a bunker like 25 feet apart. And there's a crazy amount of pyro use. So hearing protection is a must if you're playing urban over there, because we're throwing thunder flashes at each other, we're throwing multi-bangers, we're throwing regular frag at each other. It is insane because here, like when we play a lot of times, like we're trying to solve our urban problems with BBs, which inevitably doesn't work, and then it becomes stalemate real quickly.
Yeah.
Grenades solve that problem.
Yep.
You're like, grenades clear stairwells real quickly. Grenades clear little rooms real freaking quickly. So I feel like their urban is a lot more close to like real world. You do see a lot of pyro used at the bigger style events you go to, like AMS, TCA, and then Milsom West has probably the most use of pyro. But that is like they use pyro at a crazy rate just at a walk-on. I mean, because they're not spending their money on upgrades,
on the upgrades,
so they're spending their money on pyro.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And they're really welcoming to you. They want to see you there. We're taking a couple of the Green Ops, my local community Green Op guys, over to the UK in March as like an exchange program.
That's
and
awesome.
then they're coming over in 2 waves. We've got a group coming over in June for our big Red Storm Rising event, and then another group coming over in September for the second part of it.
How cool, man.
Yeah, dude, it's building camaraderie. It's the same sport, just spread across.
It's
And the best
so
part is
cool. It's Airsoft, man.
we have a relatively common language. I can vaguely understand what they say.
Right? Except
You know, the regional accents could be a pain in the
How'd that
ass.
work out with your Scottish wife? I think that
so, yeah,
strange.
For the first couple, no, actually now, she's way smarter than me too, so like, I get insulted sometimes without even knowing it, because, you know, I can barely spell. I was educated in Dilapidated Barn in Vermont, okay? She went to like Hogwarts, because her school was literally in Warwick Castle.
Okay.
It's a freaking castle.
Yeah.
It's like famous that people go to. Mine, Dilapidated Barn. Okay, like very different upbringings. And then like they use different terms. So like here's one. So when I first started dating her, I called her once, and she answered, and she's like, "Oh, I'm knackered. I'm gonna have a kip." What I hear is she's naked and she's with kip.
Knickered?
She's knackered, which is tired. And kip is a nap. But I hear she's naked and she's with kip. So like she hangs up the phone, and like my room's looking at her. I'm like, she's naked and she's with kip. My southern roommate, Boomhauer, he's like, I don't know who he is. We're gonna find. We're going to the school director at flight school. And I'm like, is Stewart short for
the old
Kip?
Kipper?
I'm like, where? The fuck is it? Show up her day at like at their door the next time. I'm like,
Who's Kip?
Who the fuck is Kip? And why are you naked with him? And she's like, you're idiots. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of things that gets lost in translations. Sure. And then now I use it, and people don't necessarily understand what I'm saying. I call everyone mate. UK thing. I say cheers a lot.
Yeah.
All these weird British things, and then my children switch back and forth between, you know, British.
They hear it all the time at home. Yeah.
But over there, Airsoft is generally Airsoft. All the terms we use are the same over there. Hop up, all that stuff. The systems are the same. Their milsim community is nowhere near what it was. Kind of died off probably 2019, and then really the war in Ukraine kind of really killed it off because
Yeah.
they couldn't get sites.
Yeah.
Because all the training sites got kicked off. It's slowly coming back. But their battle sim stuff back in the early 2000s was far beyond what we were doing. I mean,
Yeah.
Back then the only thing around was like Lion Claw. You had the early version. Well, you had Josh Warren's World War II stuff and Vietnam stuff before Milsim West was ever really a thing. That was very subsect airsoft. Like you had to be into the. I did a lot of those Vietnam events. They're awesome, but you had to be in that community. It wasn't really up. There wasn't a lot of stuff out there. They were doing stuff that was with Sterling Airsoft and UCAP was far beyond what we were doing. Like renting 747s and then wearing full SAS black cape and playing a game where they might shoot 3 dudes. But they're doing that, or games where they're doing full target reconnaissance or doing it in huge sites like trees. Now that's a commonplace. You can go to Milsim West nearly every month and fight in thousands of acres.
Yeah.
Well, back then, that was not commonplace. Using helicopters and vehicles was not commonplace here. Very commonplace over there.
Okay. I think. Dude, I just get so floored hearing stuff like, yeah, I'm going over to England to play Airsoft. They're coming here to play at our field to play Airsoft. And just how cool is that, man? That
So-
what this sport does.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
And you can go out to dinner with these guys, and it's no different than going out with the Airsoft guys here.
That's
It's
what
all
I'm
the
saying.
same. The
And
community is the same. I mean, completely interchangeable.
I love that to hear that. Although in England they speak the same language, but I imagine it's the same with any airsofters you meet in most places.
Yeah.
That they're gonna be you might not be able to talk to them, but the enthusiasm that you're an airsofter
Yeah, it's
as
a
well.
combined. It's a combined hobby. It's no different than the guys who collect certain types of cars
Very
or
cool.
like
Yeah,
you know,
very
into
true, very true.
parachuting, like all that stuff. It's you have a shared interest in that interest tech
Yeah.
translates into whatever language you are. So you have something shared to talk about it as long as you can get over the language barrier.
Pretty cool.
And
right?
generally, most of Europe speaks English,
That's
like,
just true.
especially if they're out and traveling and doing stuff.
That's
So
true.
the big events. I don't know if Sweden still has their big. They used to have the Burgett series. They'd have like 1,500 to 2,000 person games. I mean, Ballhawk I think does some of that, but like,
Yeah.
not in the amount of space that they were doing it at these old Swedish military training sites.
Yeah.
So like, get out there, whether it's going to Europe and going to see any of the fields over there, but highly recommend UCAP, their family to me, or going out to something that's just in the United States. Like if you want to go see some really awesome vehicle action but also has container, like has a little city and proper trenches, go down to DV8 in Tampa. If you want to go to some of the great indoor fields, look online and see the indoor fields, whether they're in Florida or the battalion, whether in Florida with Battalion Airsoft or some of the huge stuff they have out in California. Don't just settle for what's around you.
Yeah.
And then when you see something better, bring
Bring it
that
home.
back and make the community better because you saw it.
Yeah.
That's why the battle sim is, because we've taken a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Some of it's mine. Most of it isn't. It's just taking all these great ideas
Yeah.
and then making them what you want out of your community. That's it. But it's just get out there beyond your normal comfort zone.
All right.
Have fun.
All right. We definitely answered how the gameplay is different. Okay, and I think we answered this too, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
All right, but I think you already answered it. If you could play Airsoft anywhere in the world, where would it be? You know what? I'm going to expand that just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a pre-existing field.
Yeah.
If you want to go play at the Kremlin, you could do it. So where would you want to play?
Honestly,
fantasy
I'd still
game?
go back to the bunker. I'd play with Andy one more time. So,
Okay. All right.
Green Ops all started. Well, not all started, but I had a good friend. How I got into playing Airsoft in the UK was I met my good friend Andy Stevens, who I started just buying old Land Rovers from because I used to buy and sell old Land Rovers as my side gig. He also had an Airsoft field. We became friends. But going back and playing one more time in the bunker. So he sadly passed to ALS end of June. But our last conversation was just, people were playing, was just hanging out in the bunker, him in his chair, just talking via the gaze,
Yeah.
but just having that hour-long conversation. I go back and play one more time there.
All right.
Play one more time with him there. That's what I do. But one, it's a cool, like you're playing again where Winston Churchill is, but that's where I have the attachment was.
All right.
But when I do Green Ops, because he has Green Ops in the UK, is I look at it as how can we do it and make him happy? How could I do it and he'd be proud of it? Because he built. That's what I want my players to go there and see is like, guys, this is freaking epic. Let's bring what you see here home. And like, we can't get props like they can. They can go out and get like helicopter carcasses, military vehicle carcasses for so freaking cheap.
Yeah.
It's insane, but they also make their communities are awesome. They're admin areas. They put a lot of effort into it. They really look after their clientele, and that's one of the things that I loved about UCAP is the staging areas are awesome. And the way they treat you in the staging areas was awesome.
That's where you start your game. Your whole day starts right there.
Your whole day starts there,
right,
and then and also that's what keeps you going the second half. Because if you don't have that food on site, or you don't have that store on site, or just a great place to hang out, you're gonna leave. Like for a walk on, like for an op, you're there. But like for a walk on, that's important. You know?
Yeah. Okay. All right. What are some of your go-to pieces of kit?
It's changed over the years. It has definitely
Currently.
changed.
What are some of your current?
Pants with knee pads.
Perfect. Yeah.
Because I'm old.
Yep.
And working on armor, everything's hurt and nothing's soft, and there's no give on everything. Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Okay.
Pants with knee pads.
If you're old, pants with knee pads.
Or now. Do it now before you destroy your knees.
Okay.
Okay,
Hear
like,
that? Pants with knee
pants
pads.
with knee pads. You don't need Kralik. Just go online, find Roman in Ukraine, and he'll make you a set of cry-cut pants in any camouflage you could ever dream of. So, like, there's no excuse not to. $200, get pants with knee pads, save your knees.
Okay, so I've been debating this myself. So I'm like, I feel like I should do this, and I guess after hearing you say that, I guess I'll get some pants with knee pads.
Spend some time kneeling on like rocks or gravel.
Oh yeah,
any of that stuff. You're like, I need pants with knee pads.
That's what I say every year.
The other little things. So back in the day, it used to be turbofan goggles.
Okay.
Because they didn't fog. Remember? Like
Yeah.
you had to have like the fan in it.
Yeah.
And listen to that whee the whole time, which was mad. Now it's the Oakley M frames. They don't seem to fog. Little things. I carry a little unjamming rod that coils up. So if
That's
you've got
cool.
dude,
That's
stick
cool.
it anywhere like $3 on e-bike.
I'll have to find that. That's
Dude,
cool.
awesome. Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
just a hard piece of plastic,
Yeah.
but it cools off so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Because you get that where it just jams. And there's
Yeah.
times that it won't work, like 90% of the time it does.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good load carrying, depending for what you're doing. I'm a huge chest rig dude. I
Okay.
love chest rigs.
All right.
And then for just a regular walking, or I spend a lot of time fighting in vehicles. I can't have stuff on my back. I can't have stuff on my belt.
Yeah.
Wear a battle belt inside a vehicle, it freaking sucks. It gets caught on everything and it's super uncomfortable.
And this is something that people normally just go ahead and think that, when they're watching their movies or but that makes perfect sense. That would suck.
Dude, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
So like, or if I want to carry more, I wear an assault vest. I love Arctis assault vest because I have everything on my sides and my front. My back is free. I just got a camelback in there, and as long as I don't super inflate it with water, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
But a good chest rig does not cost a lot of money, and you can get through your average whatever games. You can carry 8 mags of water and a radio.
Yep.
Like, what more do you need on you? And then just a reliable gun. It does not need to be amazing.
Which is great. That's going to lead into my next question. That's perfect. What's your preferable platform? Which platform do you prefer?
Well, I'm dumb, so I use just British guns.
I had a feeling that was coming.
That generally aren't reliable.
But God, they look great.
They look cool. Now to the point, like, I don't shoot people with BB guns. I like generally tell somebody to tell somebody else, and they get on a radio and they tell some other people. So I'm like, for like 6 or 7 steps removed from the actual trigger pull.
Okay.
But when I do play, I'm an AEG dude. I don't like having hoses and tanks on my back because, again, they suck in a vehicle.
Yeah.
It's awesome when they're mounted. I love my HPA mounted GPMGs in the vehicle.
Yeah.
So I don't have to carry the scuba tank with me.
Yeah.
But like in the woods, and I like go battery. I like just have my batteries have come so far. I started NICAD World. Okay, so you got less than 1 shot per NIM, like per mAh, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then we got to like NIMH batteries, and it was like 1 to like maybe 2 per thing.
Okay.
Now LiPos.
Yeah, right.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just so I like I like my impression kit. So it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna rock an old Sterling, or I'm rocking an L85. But the guns have gotten cheap.
Hold that thought. I was wondering when we were gonna get there. Oh shit, my pen. Okay. Everyone, take a breath. Thank you for your patience, sir.
Dude, okay.
This has been great. This is
Savvy.
I am.
Like I said, I can talk for hours. I'll answer whatever questions you want. I'll answer you guys' questions.
Do you have any questions?
I'm loving the aspect of this that I'm really enjoying is how willing people are just come over to my house and sit in front of the cameras and talk to me. I've never met you. This is the first time we are meeting.
Yeah.
And just like boom, Airsoft, here it is.
But we
let's
have
talk.
a shared interest. We have
Yeah.
a shared community. So
Yeah.
we already have a lot in common.
Yeah,
Very little separating us. You know.
right? You're talking. I'm
We
understanding
know-
everything
and
you're
we
saying.
know each other from the world. Like
Yeah.
that's the way it is. It's not just, hey, I'm going to some random stranger's basement.
Sure,
That
right.
sounds a little odd.
That's what I'm saying, but
You
that's
know?
how I thought it was going to be perceived. When I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? I want to come over to my house for an interview. I'm going to put you under lights and get a camera on you
Dude,
in my basement."
No, it's awesome. Like this is great for the community because like there's guys are going to get into it and want to listen to whatever. You
Yeah.
know, whether it's Gordon talking about it
Yeah.
or Dark Detachment talking about it. Like they're interested in that sub thing. That's awesome. And they, what else are they going to get? Because running like in a field in the event, I don't have time to talk to everybody.
No.
And I'd love to.
Yeah.
But like, it's just great to catch up with these people. Now they're like, hey, cool, I get to like see what's going on in Derek's world
Right.
without having to be there.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Where did we stop off? Countries. Did that one. Okay. All right. So we were talking about your preferred platform, and we were
Okay, so preferred platforms.
anything
Dude,
from
honestly, all the guns have gotten so good now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for $200, you can get an awesome G&G combat machine that is going to work, and
Yeah.
like you have no disadvantages on the field. Like,
Yep.
cool, that guy's HPA shoots a little faster and maybe like 75 feet farther. Does it really technically matter? Not that much.
Yeah.
The fact that G&G works, cool. Generally, all the mags you buy now feed. That was wildly uncommon back in the day,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
do a lot of stuff that didn't work back in the day that was just sold. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get something reliable, and you can get whatever fits into your tism. Like, if you're a freaking... Okay,
That's
the
a new trend I'm seeing. I
the
love
Russian dudes.
Yeah.
I have learned more about Russian uniforms
Yes,
and
sir.
equipment from my own Discord and the Green Ops thing than I have from working with the Ukrainians and the Russians.
The Tism, man. It's
It is
hard.
like, yeah, dude, like I knew a lot about the British people. Like, I'm learning so much about it, but you can get pretty much any gun to fit any impression now, and it's gonna be competitive.
Yep.
And then especially when you take it into the battle sim world of like now it's just a magazine, so it doesn't necessarily 40 rounds per second really doesn't give you any advantage if you can only carry what's in your mid caps.
Yep.
So that's why we don't do full auto or semi. You can use however you want to use it at Green Ops because it's up to you. If you want to dump all the ammo in your magazine on one person, cool beans.
Yep.
You only get to do it like 8 times if you got 8 mags. So, but now like you can go with like I can still be competitive with my Sterling, my L1A1, or you can be fully competitive with a freaking Polar Starred whatever, and have what makes you happy.
Yep.
It's cool. Airsoft, the weapons have come so far, and the amount of stuff that's out there is just insane now.
Give me 1 second. For whatever reason, this turned off. Not that I think I'm going to need it. You know, you realize how important that stogie is to your persona, right?
Dude, this is just my like one habit. I don't really drink. This is my thing.
Yeah,
I like cigars.
But like, so do you like, as someone that's never met you and watching your shit online? I'm like, look at that cool motherfucker with that stogie, dude. Look at him fucking go. I'm like, you need to have that in the fucking interview.
Yeah, and I can do it because I don't have to have like fucking cardio. So I'm fighting from a tank.
But okay, so let's just
Dude,
run this down. I
smoke-
drive tanks and smoke cigars.
While playing airsoft, I do.
While playing
yeah,
airsoft.
I do. Yes.
So it's just
The ammo can that I brought here, that ammo can / humor, my wife bought me probably like 14 years ago. That's been in every airsoft game that I've been to, including the stuff in the UK, plus all the Op4 stuff I do for the military. So like I buy a lot of goodwill with my cigar ammo cans.
dude, I bet.
Dude, you hand out cigars, and then just like big stress reliever, plus just freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting around in a freaking tank turret smoking a cigar.
And that's what I'm saying, man. That's one of the first things I'm like, all right, this guy drives tanks and smokes cigars. I texted you, and I was like, I'm gonna ask my wife if it's okay if you have that in the house. She doesn't give a fuck, but I'm still gonna ask.
Don't bother me, like,
Right?
you know, it's just my thing I do.
Yeah, but it's cool. It fits.
Dude, there's so many cigar smokers in our freaking Discord that we've started a community, monthly cigars, scotch, and airsoft get together.
Nice.
So Friday night, like it's gonna be a Friday or Saturday night once a month, get all together virtually, and then during the year at Green Ops, once a month before one of the walk-ons, we're gonna have just around the campfire one.
Good.
Dude, just community, like, hey, let's just talk about, hang out, what everyone else smoking cigars. Let's just have that. My best memories of airsoft are not necessarily airsoft. It's hanging around the campfire when I was that 13, 14-year-old, 16-year-old with all these older dudes just listening to these wild stories. And really, like, a lot of the reason I'm the man I am today is because of hanging out with these dudes.
I couldn't agree more.
And that's why, like, in all the shared stuff and, like, just, you know, hearing their life struggles and also their, you know, their achievements and all that, and then it gives you that community that as a younger kid, you're generally thrown in with other kids.
Yeah.
Whereas in airsoft, huge age spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, we're playing with guys in their 50s, 60s, and kids who are, like, as young as 12 years old or younger. Like, it's pretty cool. No other community really does that.
To touch on what you were saying and to go to you guys, I'm sure you feel the same way, knowing how people on the team or people in your community look to you. Knowing that some of the guys here look to me a certain way, it has made me want to be a better man, so I am not falling
100%.
short of how they look at me. I want to, you know what I mean? And that has made my life better and made me be a better person
100%.
because of you guys. Like, no joke. Like, when you ask me for life advice, I don't take that lightly. I don't go, I'm like, holy shit, he wants to talk to me about, you know, I'm like, it goes so far for me, and I appreciate it.
Dude, I'm helping, you know, I've helped some of my players to, like, navigate divorce, navigate freaking, you know, relationship struggles, you know, loss. Dude, loss, you know, family members, loss of community members, you know, and then also been there for their triumphs, like having kids, getting married, all this stuff that, like, I've done in my life. Yeah. And now they're getting ready to do. Or, like, even, you know, being a military guy, and some of these guys aren't really military, like, hey, dude, this is what you need for your first deployment. Like, this is stuff for, like, sending a care package to some of our dudes. Like, you know, sending them a letter in basic. Like, all this stuff that meant a lot. Dude, when I was in basic, I got so many letters from my airsoft community. It was awesome. And they kept me going. Yeah. Yeah, so, like, we're always trying to be better for our community. And then, because we police our community, you can't be a tool in this community because you just get excommunicated. You're gone.
You really do.
You get on the ban list.
Yep.
And that's in this New England community. Like, once you're on one person's ban list, you're on everyone's ban list.
Yep.
We all talk. So, you know, as field owners and event runners.
So these are questions that I have asked the last season we did this, and I'm going to continue it. And I mentioned to you a little bit before why. So the first question is, what would you like to see more of in the airsoft community?
Encouraging the youth. So I feel like we're not as good as we used to be. So when I was getting into it, the vast majority of players were 30 and above.
Yeah.
And very few younger players. Generally, they were like dad age, so they were very encouraging to us as youth getting into it because they wanted more people to play with.
Because they're dads.
Yeah,
more people
like,
to shoot.
yeah, and just like they're just generally, it was a small community, so you knew everybody more at a personal level. Now, we don't encourage youth, and we're like, oh, we don't want to play with the noobs, we don't want to play with the young kids. Dude, I will tell you as a field owner, I have way less problems with the kids than I ever had versus with the adults.
Yeah.
Totally different things. So, encouraging these kids, whether they're new into the Speedsoft community, they're new into regular Airsoft community, they're new into Milsim. The Milsim community, we need to be better in encouraging the youth and new players to get into it, or we're not going to have any more Milsim players. And the way you do that is by being positive. Show them your kit. Yeah. Lend out some kit.
Don't be standoffish.
Yeah, don't be standoffish. If some kid's hanging around you in the parking lot, show them your stuff.
Yep.
I mean, like, they're shy. They're not
Yeah.
going to ask.
We're grown men.
You know, like, we're scary. They can't talk to girls. Never mind fucking guys in their community. So, like,
Yeah.
just show them cool stuff and then be encouraging.
Yeah.
So my big thing is, like, when you're out there and you take a hit, dude, I was like, that was awesome. Good game. Like, be super positive.
Yeah.
Do that stuff. Get it so it's always positive, always expanding the community, always be the role model, because someone's always watching you, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
Someone's always
Yep.
videotaping everything.
Yep. We had an incident at a game last season with one of our players, and I found video of it 6 months later. Just a small clip somewhere on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, someone got this on video.
Yeah, and we all fuck, dude. We're shooting each other with .32 gram 6mm BBs out of smoothbore freaking battery HP, like fucking smoothbore muskets.
Yeah.
Through heavy The fact that we hit anybody is fucking amazing to me.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that people actually have, like, the ability to call it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's be honest. It ain't taking a lot of momentum at 200 feet, like, traveling with a lot of energy when it hits you.
Yeah.
So, like, was that a stick? Like, the fact that people call ricochets and all that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's, dude, I totally get sometimes people, but don't get angry about it. Just shoot the dude again. Like, just let the kill count keep going up in your head. Like, what was it, like Hot Shots Part 2? It's like when they had the kill counter going.
Yes, it is.
Dude, just do that in your head. Doesn't matter.
The final one was like more than Total Recall.
Yeah,
Something
dude,
like that.
that is literally what plays in my head when someone doesn't call it hits. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just another kill, another kill, another kill.
Well, like, I think people get pissed off when they're shooting at somebody and they think they get them, and then that person shoots them, and they puts them in this position. Like, to me, I'm like, okay, well, that gives a chance for the dynamic of the game to change. Say I was holding a corner of a building that's not going to be taken. They're going to take that building. When I come back, this whole place is going to look a little different, and that's cool. You know, so just take your head, even if you think you got the person
Dude,
before
or they're
they
like,
shot you.
no, I know they hit him. Like, let's go shoot at the target here. Their BB's like 20
Oh,
feet
you
to the
got it.
left, and you're like, my scope is on. It's like wobbling on the
Yeah.
rail, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's normally the first thing I tell
Cool.
people when they first step onto our field. I'm like, so when you guys think you're shooting somebody and they're not calling it, I promise you, 99% chance you're missing.
Yeah.
And you because you don't know what you're doing yet, and you just gotta take some time to learn the capabilities of your replica. Because
Yeah,
you think
these-
you're hitting them, you're not.
These aren't real steel guns. Never
Yeah.
mind. Our community couldn't hit each other with real steel guns even if they tried
No,
either.
no, it's much harder
So,
than
like,
the movies.
It's just, you just gotta stay positive.
Yeah.
Have the fun with that. And then just, like, keep the drama off the field and the ego off the
Yeah,
field.
well, I think we're gonna get into that with the next question.
Okay.
Okay. What is something that you would like to see less of on the airsoft field?
Well, in the community in general, the videos we see on YouTube that pop up on Airsoft of dudes just full autoing each other or causing physical fights, like, that's 100% got to get out of the community.
Yes.
But I think as a community, we're pretty good. Like, once those people do it, they're banned. And
Yeah.
we're lucky in this community, like, again, all the event runners talk to each other, and all the field runners talk to each other. So when that happens,
You're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
And especially in today's work where everything's online registration, we just add those names into the no-go list, and
Yeah.
like, you're not going anywhere. And just the attitudes. I mean, we're all dressing up. It's a giant fucking fashion show. Okay?
We should get a place with a runway. Put a runway in it.
That's what it
Green
is.
Ops.
I mean, it's a fucking fashion show.
Yeah.
We're wearing our, like, I'm wearing my British kit. You're wearing your German kit. I'm wearing, like, using this gun, whatever. It's a giant fashion show.
Yeah.
We are literally worse than the LARPers because at least they're allowed to touch each other with weapons. Airsofters can touch each other with physical weapons. Like, they'd flip out or try to, like, freaking, like, grab something. We are worse than the LARPer. 100%.
Yeah, I don't
They, like, those guys, like, oh, yeah, they're nerds. I'm like,
They're nerds.
dude, they can hit each other with foam freaking axes.
Right?
We can't do that.
And I think that's a great thing that you people, everyone needs to realize. And it's been said many times. You're a fucking nerd if you're playing airsoft.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry. Like, proudly admit,
Dude, totally.
you're a fucking nerd if you're playing
We
airsoft.
are.
Embrace it, enjoy it.
Dude, we all have the tism. We're all nerds. It's that, like, it's, you know, there's many different tisms in the airsoft tism
Yep.
rainbow.
Yeah.
You know, it's which one floats your boat.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we are all dress-up nerds. So, like, all these guns, they're like, yeah, I use an AK. Because, like, it shoots just as well as an MP5K.
Yeah.
Caliber means nothing in
No,
airsoft.
no.
In the old days,
Shit.
there used to be some 8mm stuff, and that hurt.
There used to be a difference.
I took a Sun Project 8mm grenade to my thigh, and I'll tell you that one hurt way more than the 6mm.
Right?
But like now, dude, it's all standard. Like
Yeah.
that's why like now we measure everything in joules. That's a hard thing going for me from FPS world. Like 400 feet per second and 0.25. Now I'm like, well, how do I measure it with 3.2s? And I'm learning the joules world and the chrono world, which is being introduced to me because somehow magically HPA makes it move faster. 'Cause, again, I'm not a scientist. I don't understand physics.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm an idiot with Airsoft. Like,
Are you putting a curse on me right now?
BB go. BB go.
Exactly.
Maybe hit somebody. Like, but it's just having fun with it. We're all nerd. We all want to be here. We all paid to be here.
Yep.
Like, besides you playing here, but even then, you took the effort out of your free time. No one was forced to be here. We're not on drill weekend. This isn't our job. I mean, we all want to be here because we want to be there. So just remember that.
Yeah.
Airsoft is entirely what you make of it.
Yeah.
So if you want to go out and have a great time, you're going to have a great time no matter how shitty the op is or how shitty the weather is. If you're there with your friends and you're having a great time, or you go there alone and you meet some people and have a great time, that's it. But if you don't put any effort into Airsoft in terms of like what you want out of it, you're not going to have a good time. It's that simple.
Right. Great point. And that's those two questions. Like I said, I'll continue asking those because I think it's so important for the people that are watching these to hear. Because it's pretty much every single time, every single person is saying the same thing. And you guys, like you, Gordon, Omega, Kinky, Peanut, the list goes on, are saying basically the same things for those two questions. And you guys are the ones that really are at the top of our local Airsoft community in New England. Listen to these guys and what they're saying. It's not out of nowhere. They have many years' experience doing this. You know, so what they're saying, you know, incorporate that into your life and playing Airsoft.
Dude, it's just conduct. Just be a
good person.
It's not hard to be an adult. It's really not hard to be an adult. Like here's the thing with Airsoft teams. You may have someone you utterly despise that's on the other team. Like, just, you know, you don't get along with for whatever. Maybe because you think they're hit calling issues. Maybe you just don't like that person because they look funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not hard to be an adult and just be professional when you interact with them. Don't be a dick.
Yep.
It's
don't
not
be
hard.
a dick.
I have that in the number, like, the first thing in the Green Ops tasks op is the golden rules. Like, don't be a dick.
That's our golden rule too, which is set a little
Conduct
different.
yourself in a professional manner. You know, interact with people positively and have fun. And if you're not doing that, I'll throw you out.
Yep.
I don't need your money.
Yeah.
No field event runner wants that bad apple in their community because that poisons their community, and then they're all gone. Then you've got no business left.
Yeah, exactly. You have someone that's at your field that continually comes and they are ruining the experience for people.
And,
Guess what?
and
Those people
some
are stuck
people who
going.
are just in it for the money with certain fields, they'll keep doing it because they just care about the profit, like the money. And whereas the other people, dude, they'll get ruined because it's not worth it. It's not worth the drama that it imposes on me as an event runner when I have to hear all this other complaints or drama from somebody else.
Yep.
You know, I've only really ever had to reject like one person for that sort of stuff out of all these years.
Yep.
You know, and I wish I had done it sooner. But back I'm like, oh no, we can try
Give 'em a
it.
chance.
Yeah. No, now it's like, just get out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's your refund.
Ah,
Have fun. Go do something else.
later,
you know?
peasant.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Where's your tank?
Where's your tank? Get out of here.
But like,
Would you follow them down the road in your tank very slowly?
drive over their car. Not gonna make it down the road.
I've been waiting to do this.
Well, here's for you and I. We're inviting these people literally to our homes.
Yeah.
Around our families,
Yep.
around our animals. You know, that's a big thing for us. We have a bunch of animals and stuff. So if you disrespect my barn cat, I'm gonna throw you out just as quickly if you disrespected one of the 12-year-olds on the airsoft field.
And it's, you know,
That's simple. If you disrespect the field itself, you know, or the avenue, I'm gonna throw you out. 'Cause just that's not how I want you here because this is where I live.
yeah.
You know, and I demand more out of my community. But because of that, I'm going to give you a lot more than anyone else is going to give you.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way you look at it.
And you have a bit of a difference is, you know, you're a public field. And it's for you to open up to your home people. That's pretty awesome. Like, for me, for people to come here, either I have to know I've met you or one of the guys have had to recommend you.
I mean, I think, so my life is way easier because of the subsect of Airsoft that I chose to get into. You generally have to have a high level of a moral compass and integrity to play on the milsim side because you have to follow the rules that are imposed on you.
Yeah.
If the rules are imposing on you, make it way the fuck harder than regular airsoft.
Yep.
You know, I can't just carry a bag of BB or a speed loader or high caps or a drum mag and a pistol, HPA tap pistol. So I'm expecting more out of you. But because people are willing to do that before they even step foot in the field, they accept those rules, a lot of the problem parts of the community, not that there's very many of those people in the community, just don't show up. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Makes my life way easier to just deal with the rest of what's left.
It's not just little walk-on shitheads that want to go fuck around.
Yeah, and again, like there's nothing wrong. Like go play, have fun.
No, when I say rural walk-on shitheads, I mean the literal shitheads that are just going there to be fucking assholes.
Yeah, but
you know the ones I speak of.
But again, that comes down to the community. That should be helped. Like, if that's a constant problem in your community, you should get rid of it. And if you as a community keep complaining to the field owner and the event owner, they don't do anything about it, don't go and support them with your money anymore. I mean, we had this problem at a local, not an event runner that is necessarily as active, but we had one for years. And this person was incredibly well known in the community that blatantly ignored the rule, would threaten people with violence, but because they're best friends with the event runner, nothing ever happened to them. And it got to the point just stopped going to their events. And a lot of people did. You know, but if the community is gonna, they're the community ones who vote. They're voting with their presence and they're voting with their money.
Yep.
And you as the field runner gotta fucking accept what the community wants.
Yeah, gotta listen.
You know, I tell every field owner, you get the community that you built.
Yep.
You know, so if you don't put any effort into it, you're gonna get just a generic community that may not be good, but you're not going to get an amazing community. If you put the effort in it and you cultivate that community and make them better and challenge them to be better and encourage them to look after each other, you're going to have an awesome community. And we're really lucky that New England is very good at that.
Yeah.
From all the way back to the first NEASG days in Poland to now.
Yeah.
It's just there's more versions of Airsoft out there. And there's no field that I can actively think of right now in New England that I hear negative things about on a regular basis.
Great.
You'll always hear something,
Of
and someone's
course.
always going to bitch about something.
Yeah.
But there's no place like I would never go play there.
Yeah.
And you don't hear that. Whereas you hear that a lot of other places, I'll tell you now, all over the country and even in the UK. And it's generally driven by the event runner or field owner, just doesn't care. They're there for the money.
Okay. All right. Well, so we're at the last question, which I think is one of the most important ones. And we brush on it numerous times.
Yep.
But we're going to pinpoint it. What advice can you give to future airsofters, people that are coming up or interested in the community or very new to the community? What advice can you give them with your vast experience in the sport?
Try all the different versions of Airsoft and see the one you like most. And then just keep doing that. You know, you may like Speedsoft. Dude, Speedsoft is awesome.
Yeah,
if you were
nothing
into
wrong with
it, I am way too slow and way too fat to be good at Speedsoft.
Yeah.
I can like sit in the bag and hold hard, but like if I'm also not using HP, I don't have the firepower they have. Even with semi-auto, but you can go just like regular Airsoft. You can go like Milsim. You can go down to Ballast and get into their like the role-playing game, the LARPing games. That's awesome. Find what you want to do and do that. But when you first get into it, go try them all out. And don't get frustrated because your local field isn't racing. Take the extra bit and travel. Okay. They're singing the songs to their people. I get it. This is the same as my dogs.
It's going to happen every time we do
Your
this.
phone keeps going off.
Oh,
Someone
does it?
keeps texting.
Oh, boy.
I understand some of your people.
So, what advice can you give future airsofters?
Again, like I said, I keep saying, you get what you put into this sport. If you put into it with great vibes and have fun and actually want to be there and train or even just get interested and embedded in the community and join a team or become a regular player like, you know, at your field, you're going to get a lot out of this. Way more than what's on the field. Off the field, you're going to get that community. You're going to get that support. Dude, support network. People go through hard times. Man, this community is awesome at helping each other through hard times. Right? Like,
Yep.
see people's houses burned down, you know, with whip-arounds, people getting money to help them out, like all that stuff. Become a part of the community. That's it. If you were just an outlier and you don't become a part of the community, you're not putting anything in. You're only going to get a little bit of That's it.
Yeah. I don't know if I said it on camera or not, but it's been such a blessing for me to meet people like yourself, people like guys from Dark Detachment, Peanuts and Gordon's, because I get so much information about our community, and I learn so much, and I get to know that there are, how big the community is, not just in like size for New England, but like big in heart, man.
Dude, it's an international, like, you know, it's an international community. They're all the same thing. So, I mean, like the guy who founded G&G Airsoft, really old dude from Taiwan, freaking loves Airsoft. We don't have a language in common, but man, we have a shared passion, so we can get on just on that.
Yeah.
And like, that's it. We're learning stuff. He knows more stuff about the internals and running business than I will ever know.
Yeah.
But he's willing to share that passion with us. Same thing with you doing these podcasts. You're getting it from all sides. Dark Detachment coming down here, telling me their team story. Amazing team story. Peanut coming down here telling, dude, he does all the sponsor stuff. You're hearing it from that side. You're getting all these different things. They're like, how do I want to make this my Airsoft life? It's whatever you want it to be. There's no one's forcing you to be here.
No.
Go have fun and do it. You know?
And that's my hope for these podcast interviews, wherever we're calling them, is that by some people watching them and knowing that these things, someone might not understand, like know that you could be a sponsored player or whatnot, and they're going to learn this,
that,
you know?
That was the thing with Green Ops. You know, it's like I said before, I'm a huge fan of sponsoring teams. But like, my big thing is, dude, I love teams that have impressions. You have like a proper impression, I'm going to sponsor the heck out of you because I love seeing you there.
Yeah.
And teams that play together stay together.
Yep.
And they stay in the sport longer. And they build that family. Dark Detachment is a perfect example of that. You guys are a perfect example of that. You
Thank
are a Airsoft family.
Yeah, I mean, there's our, that we, every year,
Dude, right?
That's
Like,
well, that picture on the left, that's at Fort Foster, and we get our families, not just our Airsoft family, but our family comes and we all
I
get
have
together and have a barbecue.
spouses all over all the time from First Lancers. I know, go to their weddings, like
Yeah.
all this stuff. We became a family,
Yeah.
and that is awesome. And that's what we're trying to do more with Green Ops. Become another family, our Battleson family. That's it.
Do with you at the helm, I don't think that will take long.
Dude, but also you got to set it up so on the dark side, but if something happened to me, that it could still run without me. So that way, my
Yes.
kids still have something going for it.
Yes, yes.
So you have to make it so it can self-support.
Yep.
I mean, because like, dude, I don't know how much time I got. I didn't think I was going to make it to the age I am now.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So
nothing certain.
if I have a really good field that is an amazing community, if something happens to me, Hugh and Harry always have a place, and all these uncles and aunts, they'll look after them. You know.
Yeah.
And they have that call, like, hey, my dad's not there for a call anymore, but I can call Uncle Thomas, I know he'll help me.
Yep.
Or I can have that connection, hey, Dad loved playing Airsoft, I can still do that and be attached to what, he cared about. It's just having that as that support network for them.
Dude, it's so far this season with the interviews, talking to Monty and Hippie and talking to you, it's so cool to know that people have that foresight with this and how the passion of it, that like, I want to make sure this is here when I'm gone.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
and that's how we've set up our team as well. Like, we want to make sure this lasts for as long as it actually can, and
Yeah.
no matter what happens, that this has a life. And it's so nice to hear that other people have such a love for what they're doing inside this community that they want to make sure that it's still there.
Oh, dude, totally. Like, pretty much everyone on the team, like, dude, I say, like, when we part, I'm like, dude, I love you, brother.
Yeah,
that's it,
totally.
100%.
Yeah.
All the time. And to have that, because it is a special thing. I don't go around telling everyone I love them.
Nope.
That'd be weird. But you have all these people that now become parts of your life. And off Airsoft, like, blood is blood.
Yep.
But families who you choose to surround yourself with,
Yep.
I learned that in the military, and Airsoft is no different.
Nope.
You choose to surround yourself with these people. And you're going to have a great time if you choose the right people, and you're going to have a really horrible time if you choose the wrong people.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, man. Derek, man, it's been
Dude, it's
an
been
absolute
awesome.
pleasure sitting with you.
I apologize if I bored you or rambled on in any way,
You
or offended multiple different groups.
That's possible but it's gonna happen. But you have nothing to be sorry for, man. Pleasure is ours. Like, this
Awesome.
has been great,
Well, thank you for having me down. It's been awesome, dude. Looking forward to seeing you up in New Hampshire sometime
and we're planning on
having
just
some
doing
fun,
it. So,
being our guests and hang out around the campfire. That's it. Dude, like I said, the whole point of like Green Ops is I want to have that time so before the walk-on, you guys come out and hang out and camp. I want that feel where it's not, hey, we're not all just showing up when the gates open at 9.
yeah,
It's, hey, dude, we're hanging out, we're grilling, we're sitting around that campfire together. We're working on guns in the barn at 2 a.m.
That's
you know,
how
like,
the community gets built.
yeah, dude, that's how the community gets built, and that's how we all help each other. Ah, shit, my gun's working. Here, take mine. Like,
Yeah.